Hello friends, this is Allison with Determined to Shine, and today we are going to talk all about artist trading cards. So what is an artist trading card? It's a card that you trade that has art on it. Ha ha ha, right? In all seriousness, there are only a few rules when it comes to artist trading cards. The first and most important one is the size. It is always going to be 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches. Some people will design them in like landscape orientation, which is fine, but this is the set size. It is also the size of a standard playing card. So if you don't always want to be cutting your card stock, sometimes people will go buy, a deck of cards or two from the dollar store and just use those as your card bases. The other rule is that you need to sign your card on the back and date it. This one's from 2015. And any other information that you would put on here for a swap, that's what that sticker is. One is that I was trading through ATCs for All, which is a fun trading website. And, generally the rules with artist trading cards are that they should be traded and never sold. There is a thing now that they call an artist card original edition, I think. I'm sorry, I might be saying that wrong. And so some people will sell those, but in true artist trading card, in the spirit of artist trading cards, they would always be traded, not sold. So these are 3 I did, and I just wanted to show you a couple of these so you can see some of the different ways that I like to create them. So this one here is just done with, this background is actually from a phone book, I believe, or a some kind of report. It has some washi tape here, a postage stamp. This is just a little girl image cut from a collage sheet, and then I just cut this little piece out and stamped this At My Bestie stamp from Stampin' Up! On it. Similarly, here's another one with scrapbook paper, and this is an image that I got from Etsy. I used this little Great Kisser word and again some washi, and this is just on traditional cardstock. I believe it's from Teresa Collins. Scrapbooking paper. And then this one, this background is also scrapbooking paper, as is this little house and this little bit at the bottom. All of this is from scrapbooking paper. And the dog image is actually cut from a vintage playing card. So I went on eBay and bought a lot just of single old playing cards of all kinds, and so that was one of the ones that was in there. So those are 3 cards that I've done, and I'm going to show you a whole bunch more just so you can get a sense of how they all work. So this is an album that I keep a lot of my cards in, and unfortunately they don't make this album anymore, but there are some other great solutions out there which I will show you. So these are all cards either that I've made or that I have collected. And they are just in here like this. And so they just kind of stick out, and it's fun for me to go through and pull them out. So like this one, these ones were not done by me. This one is actually made from an American Girl puzzle. This was made by Mary Prince, and so this one's kind of fun because it's made from a puzzle box. This is another one that I did, all with scrapbooking embellishments and stickers on an old map. Here's another one that's collaged. This one's really neat in that it has some netting and glitter on it as well. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's really got a lot of great texture on it. This is made by Joanna, I think. I'm having a hard time reading that name. Sometimes that's a hazard of artist trading cards. This is another one I really loved that's also has a collage style. So that's a style that I'm drawn to a lot. There are some really neat ones out there from people who have painted and drawn theirs. This one's by Mandy Rentmeester, and it has this beautiful drawing on it. And here's another one that's done. This is all hand drawn in, and then this is colored with Copic marker, and that is by Dorothy Gilmore. So those are some really fun ones that are a little bit different in style. Here's another hand drawn one. This is a fun little ghost. It says Boo. That's by Brittany G. This is a really fun one. This is just all from magazine cutouts of money words, and that's from Arlene Hutcherson. Puppies and Cupcakes. That's one that someone made just for me of things that I like, which I thought was funny. Her name was Chris that made that. Here's just a really abstract one that's neat, and that's done, this is watercolor, and that's by Sharon Malusky. That's, again, hard to always read them. This one's fun. It has a parking claim check on it. Just to go through some more quickly, this one is a rubber stamp that's colored in, I believe. That's what that is. It could possibly be hand-drawn, so don't always know. This one, it has some collage bits plus a bit from a one of those old vintage label makers. Here's another using a postage stamp. So there's really just, the sky's the limit with these. This one's done digitally. That's really neat. Here's one that's made from a playing card. And this is from Lane Amen. And the artist chose to keep some of the playing card visible. So that was kind of fun. And then sometimes people will do cards that fit together. So this is, part of a series, and there are more in the series. I just happen to only have 2 of them. So those fit together in kind of a line design. These are done with encaustic wax. And those are also by Mandy Rentmeester, who we saw earlier. Here's one that has some rubber stamping on it. I would gladly live out of a suitcase if it meant I could see the world. And let's see, here's another one that's really simple with some stamping on it. So you can see there are just a ton of ways. Here's another one with some fabric on it and some little metal embellishments. So, this one even has like foam stickers that are usually for kids, and that looks super fun. So, yeah, I keep pulling them out. I keep saying I'm going to move on, but this has a embroidered piece from a fabric store with some sequin trim. So you can go on forever and ever and ever in any style you like, or you can mix it up. And the fun thing about artist trading cards is that they are so fast and easy to put together. This is another storage system that I use, and this is just a regular 3-ring binder, and then inside I'm using just these baseball card page protectors, which you can get online or even like at Walmart in the kids trading card sections. You'd be able to find that there. And in this book I just keep cards that I'm waiting to trade. So these are all ones that I've made that are getting ready to go to new homes. So again, I have some with a postage stamp and hashtag too cool for school. This one is hand-drawn and painted. This is Harry Potter and a stamp that says don't let the muggles get you down. This downtown rhythm one, all these images were cut from an apartment rental catalog because I was making one at work. When I still worked in an office, I loved to make artist trading cards on my lunch break. I would sit down with my sandwich and go down to the cafeteria in my building, and I had just a little tin of art supplies and just a few things, and I would grab like a magazine or whatever I had at work and just create, and that was super fun. So I am going to walk you through an easy card creation, and I'm going to let you know that I just want you to see how fast these can come together and how it's really just fun to kind of follow your intuition and see how it goes. So I have planned nothing for this card, and you're going to kind of watch me choose and create in real time my process that I would go through. So I'm typically going to start by pulling out my scrap bin and just looking through what's in here. This is where I just put things from leftover projects, like some jelly prints in here. I was testing out a sewing machine on paper. So I've got just a lot of various things in here. This is a snippet from the Coloring Made Meaningful class, so just all kinds of things. And I think I'm going to use this butterfly paper. I kind of like that. And sometimes I'll start with a card that's cut to 2.5 by 3.5. and then layer on top. In this case, I'm just going to cut the paper to that size off the bat. 3.5 by 2.5. And so now, I usually like to start with the image next. And again, you can use anything, a sticker, a rubber stamp. I love to pull images from magazines for a variety of different projects. And so I have little bins with images and things already cut out. These are from a kit from Prima that was sold as an ephemera kit, but this is just a postcard. That's the front of a greeting card. And then these are all just magazine cutouts. And I have these in all kinds of sizes, and I really use them on all kinds of projects. Sometimes I end up painting over them, sometimes I use them as is. For the sake of right now, let's see what's in here. I kind of like these Twinsy girls. I don't know what their story is, so I'll have to decide what I think it is. And then I'm just going to cut them out so that they can silhouette on the back of the card. And with artist trading cards and collage, I really feel like you don't need to be too exact with this stuff. I mean, part of the fun is the handmade collaged look, so depending on what you're going for, you know, don't let this part take too much time. Again, like when I was creating at work, cutting for magazines, I would be really choppy with them, and that was pretty intentional. And then, let's see. I'm not going to go all the way around their feet, because I don't quite know if I'm going to keep them all, so get rid of that. And let's go in a little closer here. Alright, so I kind of like them. I actually think I'm just going to put them right in the middle, but I think I am going to cut out this bit in between. I wasn't sure if I wanted to leave that there or not, because I didn't know if I was going to keep their legs on the card or if I was going to chop them off in my design. You can use any kind of adhesive for stuff like this. I tend to just use a trusty old glue stick because it's just easy. Yeah, and I don't have to worry about anything getting all over everything. So I'm going to glue them down. And then I don't always use words on my cards, but sometimes I like to. And so, again, pulling out my trusty magazine bin of just different little words that are cut out. Let me pull them up here so I can see what I like. I've got Take a Stand. That's kind of fun. Set that aside. I Am Beautiful. Oh, here's a bunch of them. Fresh New Face of Fearless. That's funny. Add More Joy to Your Days. Freeze a Moment. A Light in Chorus. Crafting for a Cause. So you can see we use a lot of these sayings in the Envision class, so I do have a lot of these cut for that, but I do use them on all kinds of things, really. Fiscal Bliss. That's pretty hilarious. Be Colorful. Third one. Bedazzled. Some of these are a little large. Forget the Fear. What does that say? Oh, that's a stray bit of adhesive, but this says Forget the Fear. Ultimate. Get What You Want. I kind of like that. Okay, let's, I'm gonna set this aside and go with, I'll keep that Worth It out too. Okay, so I'm gonna choose from, I narrowed it to these. That Worth It is a little too big, so I'm not gonna use that. And I do like to use sayings that don't always make sense. So the Fiscal Bliss, like how does that relate to that? I have no idea. I used words together one time and I made a card that I called Squeeze Tactic, and I just thought it was funny. So it doesn't have to be anything really fancy, or it doesn't have to make sense. You know, it's just for you. It's just for fun, creating a little bit of, just a little bit of art to make a day nice. So I actually think I'm going to use Get What You Want. Originally I thought I was going to use this Take a Stand, but I have changed my mind, which happens. So I'm just going to cut this apart because I don't want to use it all in one bit. I want to use the words separately. And again, you know, you could go through a magazine. You don't have to have your stuff pre-cut, obviously. I love to go through magazines when I'm watching TV, and I just cut out the images and put them in my bins, and then they're ready to go when I sit down at my craft table, and that's really just the most convenient for me. So, actually, do I want to use Get You What? I kind of want to use, like, Get You What? Question mark? That's kind of funny. Get what you want. I'm just thinking. I think I'm still going to go with that. I liked the Get You What idea, but that doesn't really make any sense, which is fine, but I'm going to go back to my original plan. Again, I have no plan for this card when I sat down. I had no idea what I was going to create, just because I want to show you how fun they are. So the only thing I did to prep for this was to get my little bins nearby. And so again, this is what's so nice about the glue stick, is I just kind of slide that on there with my thumb. And it just puts on a nice thin layer, which is great when you're working with magazine cutouts. Alright, get what you want, not what you need. I don't remember how that song goes. Can't always get what you want. Okay, I don't think I'm allowed to sing songs without paying royalties, so I'm going to choose some washi tape because I don't know how to make anything without washi tape. That's a for sure. This is just a bin from Michaels. It was only a couple dollars, so I have all my washi in bins like this, and it's super helpful. I've tried 1,000 different methods for storing washi, and this is the only one I've ever stuck with. I don't like the things where it's all in the rolls that you have to take it off and move it around. This was just the most simple. I think I'm kind of looking at some of this sparkle stuff, or maybe this, after I just said how easy these were to use. I kind of like that, but I think I'm going to use some of this narrow sparkly business. Actually, let me grab that color too. And the gold. Oh, goodness. And that, I'll just grab that one too. Okay. So I'm back to my Get What You Want girls. And this gold's kind of neat, or I grabbed these others. I like this color to give it some contrast, so I'm going to play with that, but I think I am going to use this, this like mermaid-ish print on it as well. This is a brand new roll, so I'm just trying to find the edge. Wow, Michaels, where's your paper edge? That's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Oh wait, I think I got it. There it is. Huh, goodness, goodness, goodness. Okay. I just only want to use a tiny little bit of this, and, so actually I kind of want it under the want, and if I can pull it up, I'm gonna, and sometimes that's risky, but sometimes I try it anyway and see what happens. Okay, it's a little dicey, but we're gonna go with it. So I'm just gonna stick that down, wrap that around, and then I'm gonna come back with my glue stick and reattach that. Now this is super thin because it split the magazine paper in half, and magazine paper is very thin already, so just be careful if you're pulling something up and the adhesive is dry. Or, you know, if you're a person who wants to plan your whole card ahead of time, then this won't happen to you. But I just like to create as I go. So I'm just going to put that one there. And then we'll just use a tiny bit of this pink as well. That's the end of a roll there. And I just like that, kind of like that. Okay, so I'm done with my washi, and I might be done with my card. I'm gonna just take a look at it up close. And yeah, I think I'm gonna call this one finished. So then the rule is to flip it over and sign your name and date your card. And I have no idea what the date is, so I'm gonna look at my phone. Okay. All right. And then depending on if you're swapping with a different group, again, like ATCs for All or in our swaps, you might choose to write the name of the swap on the back or something like that. Or sometimes I write the title of a card on there. If it's not, like this card I would just call Get What You Want. But some other cards I might name a little differently, so I might put a title on the back if I'm going to name it something else. And then now I would, once this is done, just, whoops, let's zoom out here. Just go to my 4-trade album and slide this right in, and now it's ready to go with the cards I'm going to trade. So that is really all there is to it. It is super easy. It's super fun. Like I said, I love this as a lunch break or in front of the TV. If you are struggling to fit your art time in, this is a great way to give yourself that art time every day and finish something in, 10 minutes or less. So I really recommend it for that. Plus, getting these in the mail is so much fun. It's just so much fun. You're just gonna love it. It's so much fun. I promise. Okay? I don't know if you can see me. I tried to wave.